Do you know how much time do we spend on trying to get rid of unwanted hair from our bodies? Let's assume we start to depilate at the age of 15 and stop doing this activity when we are 60. It gives us approximately 100 days. It's quite a lot, isn't it? I'd like to show you a solution which can save your precious time. Hi, I'm Aleksandra Bujdo and I'm a cosmetologist. I've been working in beauty industry for 6 years, I run my own clinic, and in my spare time I share my beauty knowledge with you. Today I'd like to show you an epilation device, Garett Beauty Flash Pro. Yes, you heard me. I said epilation and not depilation. Let me explain this very simple difference. Epilation is all about getting rid of body hair long term, whereas the depilation is when we use razors, depilators, tweezers or wax and we experience a short-term effect. So this is what we call an epilator, and for example, a razor is a depilator. Surely you're thinking, how can this device remove our body hair? Let me explain this right away. As you can see here, there is a rectangular light, which is actually a little bit bigger than in other standard devices, and because of that, the size of the surface removing our body hair is also bigger. Here we've got a xenon light emitting a light beam. The pigment in our hair and also in our skin is called melanin. Melanin has the ability of absorbing the light, which leads to absorbing the light beam from the device. And when the melanin and the light combine, the light beam turns into heat, which results in weakening or breakage of our hair. Of course, the whole point of doing this activity is to remove the hair, to get rid of our body hair forever. But it's not that easy. Here is why. There is one condition that our hair needs to meet. It needs to be in anagen phase, which is also called the growth phase. A human hair goes through 3 phases: anagen, telogen and catagen. If all hairs went only through anagen phase today, they would fall out tomorrow and would have to grow out again on our body. Thanks to various phases in various hairs, we don't notice losing one hair and getting one new hair back. There is a specific placement of melanin in anagen, which fosters the removal of hair. That is why, unfortunately, it's not enough to use the epilator once, but we need to go through, I would say, 2 phases. The first one is an active phase, and the second one is maintenance phase. Let's start from the active phase, which lasts 8 weeks. The lasting 8 weeks active phase can also be divided in half. In this particular device, we epilate 2 times a week in the first 4 weeks, and then only once a week in the next 4 weeks period. I will repeat. The active phase lasting 8 weeks, first 4 weeks of active phase we epilate 2 times a week, and in the next 4 weeks only once a week. Let's proceed to the maintenance phase. It is sufficient to use the device once a month, so we can enjoy the effects of the epilators such as smooth legs or other body areas treated with the device. Does every single hair qualify for this treatment? Unfortunately not. As I said earlier, it's all about melanin, the light-absorbing pigment. The darker hair, the more melanin it has, the better it absorbs the light, and we can observe the better thermic effect, which helps us removing it. If we've got dark hair and additionally darker skin tone, we are perfect for the treatment. However, if our hair is gray, ginger or light blonde, unfortunately the level of melanin is lower. In gray hair, there is none, and this leads to lack of chromophore, which absorbs the light beam from the epilator. How to prepare for using the device? Just shave all of your hair from the area you want to use the epilator on, using a simple razor. Such razor is always coming with the epilator itself. So if you don't have one on your own, you can use the razor from the package. Remember that your skin should be dry, and of course it should not be irritated after shaving. There is one very important thing I would like to tell you about. If you have a tattoo on your skin in a place you want to epilate, you must avoid the area, because there is a chance of removing your tattoo alongside with your body hair. We are avoiding these areas alongside with the depilation, like for example, bigger birthmarks. How to correctly use the device? Let's proceed to the practice itself. I will show you how should we use the device. Remember that the device should be plugged in. We hear the beep, there is a blue light visible. But how to properly use it? There are 3 buttons. The middle one is used to turn the device on. After pressing the button, we can hear the fan which cools off the lamp. The lamp heats, so the cooling mechanism is mandatory. Then, right away we can observe the power level on the screen. We can start from the level 1, especially if you haven't used the device before, and check on your own hair how it's going to react with the light. Before we will proceed to the tests, I'd like to walk you through what we can see on the device screen. First, the power level, which I have explained before. The second one is an operating mode, for hairs, for fine lines and wrinkles, and the third mode for the post-acne discoloration. But I will explain it to you at the end of the video. And at the bottom of the screen, we can see how many light pulses we have left. There is almost 1 million light pulses which I have left of my device, as I have been using it for quite some time. It is a massive amount of pulses, and frankly, it would be very difficult to use them all. If we want to boost the power of our treatment, we simply press the plus button and we can go up to level 9. And what other options do we have? As I said, HR, SC and RA. Modes mentioned before for either hair, wrinkles or discoloration. We can regulate here directly on the device. At the top, there are a few dots where the air is humidified from the fan, so we must avoid blocking the airflow to prevent the device from heating up. If you use the device for the first time, keep the epilator on level 1. I'm going to go down to level 1, and remember to always wear protection glasses. Obviously, this is not a laser, so don't worry, it won't do much harm. However, we should not look directly at the light beam. Let's put on our glasses. Quite fashionable. Am I right? Here is the button. We can use this mode manually and press it ourselves, or we can use it in an automatical way. We press the button for a few seconds and there is an information on the screen that the device is put into an auto mode. It means that the device will emit the light beam itself. All we have to do is to change the placement of the treatment just like that. Another important information. If we use the device in the auto mode, we have to remember to change the area of the epilation, not to burn our skin. We should use only one pulse on each place. We should change the placement of the device with every pulse. When the device is not touching our skin, of course, it does not work. If you do it for the first time, start from the level 1. If you are able to work on higher power levels, I work on 9 without any problems, then it is better to use the higher ones, as the treatment will be more effective. Remember that every person has a different pain threshold, and the most important thing is safety and not to burn your skin. If the device is too hot for you at some point, change the power level or put the device aside for a few seconds. Alright, I will turn the device off now, as I would like to tell you about something important. Let me also take off my glasses, which is the egg shape of the device. It does not mean that the whole surface emits the light. The treatment surface is a little smaller, so if we want to work place by place, we need to kind of overlap. Not forgetting the fact that it's not the whole head of the device that does the treatment, but the rectangular lamp itself. So we have to overlap. The most crucial thing is to follow the producer's recommendation, so please read the brochure before using the epilator. What I can say is that pregnant women and women who breastfeed should not use a device like this. Like I mentioned before, this device does not only remove the unwanted body hair, but also helps to remove fine lines and discoloration. However, these two modes are made specifically for professional usage and should only be used by qualified individuals and cosmetologists, which is of course for safety reasons and for your own good, as cosmetologists are able to assess your current complexion state and select a proper treatment. I hope you found this video helpful and you have learned how to epilate using this device. I encourage you to try the Garett Beauty Flash Pro epilator and enjoy the smooth skin effect.